What's going on, everybody? You have made it 2 yards after the catch. That means it's Tuesday night. How did your fantasy week go? Did you win? Did you lose? Was it by a lot or was it by a little? Let us know. Ask us your questions. Waiver pickups this week. Oh, boy, that's thin this week. But Breece Hall goes down. We've got bye weeks. DK Metcalf down, Mike Williams down. It's not good for waivers. Zach, how are you doing this week?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. That sounds about right. I'm the little under the weather, got that vid, so
man.
But we'll go a little we'll go a little Amish Zach. Keep it so it's not mumbling into the mic too much, more than I already mumble, as my wife says. But you know, COVID's got.
Why do they always say we mumble? They always say we mumble.
We probably
they
do.
all
I don't
say
know.
We probably do.
Probably do. But it's probably because all the other times we're like, you tell me one more fucking thing, and I'm, we are mumbling, but just sometimes
we are mumbling.
Yeah,
with the reason. I get it.
But I'm a little sick, and I'm gonna make it. Still out here for you guys, and it's kind of taken most of my days. But I love fantasy football, so I'm here to talk about it and share some wisdom.
So we
answer some questions. How are you doing?
I'm don't have the vid, so I'm doing all right. Let's see, what do we got? The thing is,
that's right.
So this week was crazy a little bit, because it seemed like players either showed up really big, or they didn't show up at all.
Oh, I didn't do the stats that I wanted to do. Because you're 100% right. There was at least 3, maybe 4 players that had 3 touchdowns, including running backs, wide receivers. And I played all of them except one.
Of course, right?
Because I played Jacobs. Like players like Walker. I played against players like that, and I'm like, are you kidding me right now? Burrow, played against him. That was fun to just watch him have, 30 points in the first half. It was really comforting. I knew it was over, so that was even better. And some of these players aren't even doing what they were doing. Like Lamar was really hot the first couple of games, and now they're just doing nothing.
Up again. That's good.
Yeah.
I swear, I kid you not, in one of my leagues, once again, I played the top scoring team. Nobody could have beat them, including myself. Lost by 50 because I swear to God, this guy had just about every top scorer in the league. He had Burrow, he had Josh Jacobs. I believe he also had Jamar Chase. I don't know how he managed to do that, but it's possible. Just all the big guys right there on one roster going against me. Thanks, everybody. I'll take it. I'll take one for the team. Freaking sucked. So I feel your pain there as well. I think it's something we all go through. Is anybody having the matchup issues this year? We talked about on the trenches that we recorded just a little bit ago. We got Adam Holz Sports has only won 1 game, but he's only finished lowest points twice. So if he had gone against different people, he could have won. I have a league exactly like that, where exact same situation. I've only finished lowest points twice. And so all these other weeks, if I'd gone against, half of the other league, I would have won. Is anybody else like having that problem, like on a consistent basis? It happens. But on a consistent basis, like this is so,
this is happening quite often. I just went up against another high scoring guy, and same thing happened to me. It happens to me every year. I have photos of it. I can go back and look at, the points against and my points for, and just like look at it compared to others. And it's really amazing. But hello, Aurora. Always watching. That's good.
Always.
Don't
one of our
fix that lineup. We
regulars.
Got some stuff for you.
Let us know how your fantasy week went. Let us know your waiver questions, because there's just not a lot out there. Make your comments. We'll put them all up on the screen. Just, yak some football with us, because we love to have you. The link is in the description. You guys can join us right here. You guys have your little picture right up next to us. It's all fun. So this week, we'll wait to talk about the trenches. Let's go back here. I want to go back. What was the game that kind of, I don't know. What was you picked the game? What was your game this week? Bad, good, didn't see it coming. Great game, horrible
Um,
game, and I had to watch it. What did you get?
oh, I didn't have to watch any of them, but I put on Red Zone and watched all of them and watched it just
Yes.
crash and burn. I don't know
Yeah.
why I watch it and pay for it anymore. It's like it's kind of pointless. But my biggest thing was picking up Kenyon Drake in 2 of my leagues, putting him in my lineup, and him getting 0.5
For
points
0.5 points.
after
Yeah.
he got 20 last week.
I
You
got
know
one.
how much that hurts a lot
A
watching
lot.
Lamar not run against Cleveland. It
What was
blew
with
my
Lamar? Oh my
like
God.
like every for the last several weeks, people have been running all over Cleveland, and I said, you know what? I'm going to some of those pay me some money sites, and I'm going to put in Lamar. I'm going to put in Kenyon Drake, and we're just going to get all these rushing yards. Oh yeah,
And
but then Gus Edwards comes to town, and he gets
that's why it didn't
yeah,
happen. It's
yeah,
because Vegas didn't want to do. No, I'm not
yeah.
implying that
You know what's
Vegas
funny though
controls
is
it.
everybody's been
But
going to the waiver wire trying to get Gus Edwards. And then let me get this straight: if you're hurting for a running back, Gus Edwards is the guy to go get. If you need a little bit of
he's out
help,
there.
he's out there.
He
But
is.
remember, Kenyon Drake got 20 points last week and got 0.5 this week. So with him and Lamar and Gus and just everybody back there, I'm a little worried that it may not even be just anyone just a bye week filler. Hopefully, you have enough talent. But if you lost somebody like Brees
Hey,
Hall,
Gus Edwards only owned in 30% of the leagues. Deonta Foreman, Chuba Hubbard, 42 and 30 respectively, but a split backfield.
mhm.
So you kind of got, Hubbard gets the touchdowns, Devonta gets the yards. You got to decide if that's going to hold up. Algier is actually only owned in 35% of the leagues, which is kind of amazing to me. Pacheco's actually owned in more. Pacheco gets to play this week, doesn't really
I
put
want
up
to talk
any
about both of
amazing
those.
numbers. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so Algier. Okay, I like him. I have Huntley also on my team, on one of the teams, and Algier on some others. The problem with that is I saw your boy Cordell 0, um, Patterson pulling some weights behind him, running barefoot. I think that was him, and I'm
Why
like,
wasn't
well,
he in?
all I could think is like these 2 guys are about to fall off my roster because as soon as he comes back, they're going to be worth nothing because they're really not dominating that backfield. They're not saying this is my backfield. So I'm going to kind of stay away from
Well,
them.
you got that IR tag, so he can only, he has to be out now for a certain amount of
Right.
time. So even if he's healthy, that could definitely be why he's not back. Because I think he might be up now. I want to say maybe this was his last week. So
Yeah. I
yeah,
mean, he
he
might
might be
come
up.
back the next week or something, but
Yeah, you never know.
the point is the other ones have not said, hey, this is my backfield now. So it's time to move away because I mean Cordell's gonna come back and overtake that. So clear your roster spot, find somebody else. Dig a little deeper. We have some of those. You were talking about Isaiah Pacheco.
Yeah, I mean he got the load share this week, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't able to do too much of it. I mean, understandably he gets it because that game was pretty well in hand. By the time he comes in and just kind of finishes running out the game, but not great stats, which kind of surprised me. He's definitely someone that people have been looking at. I think he only got 1 reception, 2 reception. Oh, it's popping up here. 8 attempts for 43 yards, no touchdowns, no receptions, comes out with 4.3 points. And if you look at the history, that's about right. That's actually right about the average. But you hoped for more, being that they were going to put him in there. Kansas City on bye this week, Chargers on bye this week, big names out, Herbert out, Williams out.
Herbert's not a big name. I know I have him on many of my teams, which is why I'm 2-5, 3-4.
Mahomes is out, Schuster's out. You don't have to worry about that Kansas City backfield any this week. What's really hurting people is the fact that Eckler's out, to include me. Went Eckler heavy this year. No
And you're gonna
Eckler
get a
this
loss
week.
everywhere then.
Probably. I mean, honestly, he's really been carrying teams. Are you guys affected by the bye weeks this week? only 2 teams on bye, but 2 heavy hitters on bye. How's that helping or hurting you guys out there? I think the game, because I did the same thing. I throw red zone on. Of course, got a family, so I can't just sit there and watch it because the kids want to play, and they actually want like parenting or something. I think they call it
You gotta like
parenting. You have
engage
to
and
like
talk to them.
you have to actually interact with them. So like even if tablets and they still want attention or
Well, red
something.
zone's on for like 6-7 hours. So
Anyway, so I'm sitting there watching the games, and what I was kind of surprised at was one thing I was very surprised at was just how dominated Tampa was this weekend by the Panthers of all people. The Panthers who don't have their starting quarterback, the Panthers who just lost CMC, the Panthers who everybody has been able to throw against this year, and they just dominated Tampa Bay. It wasn't even the score was 21-3, but that's not how it came out on the field. So I was very surprised at that.
you shouldn't be, because 2 weeks ago we did a battle and I picked Carolina's defense and
That
said, "Hey,
was
watch."
2 weeks ago.
And the
Last week it
last
did not.
2 weeks they've been top 10.
Why are we bringing up old shit?
Because it happened this weekend. That's what I'm saying, is it's still happening. They're being ignored.
If you think Roop is mumbling, hit like and subscribe. The Bengals.
Probably.
So the Bengals, after the morning, the Bengals had the top 3 fantasy scoring positions. One team, 3 people, 2 of them receivers, all right there. Just quarterback, receiver, like 3 people. That was pretty insane that one team has the top 3 fantasy producers. Let's see. The Giants almost blew it against the Jags, but managed to come out with the win. Green Bay.
Giants looking for a new QB or no? Has Danny Dimes say that he's going to be the guy there?
He'll be there. Yeah. He's going to stay there till the end of the season, I think, unless he gets hurt. But yeah, as long as they keep winning. I mean, even though they still won, they still walk away with the W. Why change? I don't know. Taylor Heineke, told you. Had a couple interceptions. Not all his fault, everyone, but they come out with the win against Green Bay. Heineke has decent numbers.
What was his rushing yards?
Not good. If you picked Heineke on the prop, you lost out big time. He was definitely expected to rush more than he did. Not good on the rush numbers. PSR, Patriot Sports Radio, their Wake and Rate show, definitely taking that one. They absolutely own the fact that that one didn't come through. I don't think anybody really saw that coming. You expect some rush yards, right, from Taylor Heineke. I loved him last year personally.
That's what I thought. I said, when you just get in a little bit of trouble, you just run, and that's what he was able to do. And I don't know why he just didn't do like 80 yards. It didn't 100 yards, something, but just didn't.
I'm a big Heineke fan. Goes 20 for 33. 20 for 33, 60%. He did have the interception, 2 touchdowns. Looks like rushing, he had 2 attempts for 4 yards, so way down on the prop schedule there. 201 yards. He does enough to win the game. Lighten up McLaren for people this week. Still finishes as QB 40, which is insane. Definitely the last guy below guys that didn't, below PJ Walker. He's Dak Prescott, again, the win. But 1 touchdown, 1 interception for Dak, but the rest of the team picks up, Ezekiel Elliott finally shows up for 1, and they get out of there with the win. Seahawks destroy the Chargers. Was a little surprised to see that. Chiefs destroyed the 49ers. We know the 49ers having trouble on defense, but good night. 44-23. Are you kidding me?
It was a flip of a coin, and I'm like, it's a flip of a coin. And no, it was dominated by several teams. I mean, you think the Chiefs, are going to win, but that was pretty embarrassing.
I don't know. I mean, you get CMC. You think San Francisco's putting together. Now, they just got him. CMC didn't have a bad day. He did pretty well for walking into an offense.
On one day of practice.
Yeah. Is San Francisco a contender now? This is one of the big
Oh, yeah.
conversations I've been in all day. Is San Francisco a contender now that they have CMC?
They were a contender before, a
Mhm.
playoff team before. I think this just steps it up a little bit. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like it, just in what just happened, but, on any given Sunday, anybody could win.
Yeah. They're gonna have to beat Kansas City if they want the whole thing.
Mhm.
And they didn't get it done this time. Hashtag write that down. I went on record as saying that San Francisco will get in, but they will not make it past the second round. I wouldn't see it surprised because what a lot of people say, oh, San Francisco, a real contender. They still have the one piece that they had last year that was the reason that they didn't make the Super Bowl, and that's Jimmy Garoppolo. Great quarterback. I said he's this year's Tony Romo. Can't get it done. I see Jimmy Garoppolo, great guy. Put him on your team. He's going to put up some fantasy numbers for you. Actually, Romo had amazing fantasy numbers, but when you get to the postseason, he's not going to get it done for you. He's not going to get you to the show. That's hashtag write that down
But he's
on my
actually a
end.
safe play. He's,
Yeah,
going to get you those 20,
he's a
25 points.
he's a Kirk Cousins play, 100%.
Right. Yeah. And that's kind of what you want to get that safe floor. When you just are in those battles and those close games, you don't want, your quarterback like Herbert, who should be putting 30, 40s up and is barely getting 20s. And it's just,
Yeah.
it hurts when, Herbert's going 7 rounds before Kirk Cousins and Kirk Cousins is outscoring him. That's the difference we're talking here.
You're absolutely right. Dolphins outlast the Steelers due to a couple poor interceptions by Pickett. Pickett was just trying to make something happen, and what he made happen was a loss. I think some smarter decisions. Pittsburgh actually comes out with the win on that one, but he's young, he's learning, and he was trying to get the win.
Pickett to Pickens. Keep that going. You said that a couple of weeks ago.
Pickens, I said people were waiting. I wrote about it and True Serum's article a couple weeks ago, and it's a real thing.
And Pickens caught everything that came to him.
Shark Tooth coming in with Goff is the same, going back to the
he's back down to earth.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And let's see. Oh, and then last night. Then you get last night. I don't know which Bears team that was, and
I don't know what New
England. Put some of it on the
was.
Patriots. Yeah, because New England has top 10 defense. We talked about that the same week, and they had top 10 defense last week. They did not have one last night. Mac Jones gets benched. I really think Mac Jones is struggled because I don't think he's fully healed yet. I think they tried to bring him back too early. So I'm actually not really worried about Mac Jones. And again, Mac Jones isn't someone's going to carry your fantasy league. He's barely usable in a super flex league with 2 QB positions, but I'm not that worried about. Are you worried about Mac Jones? Are you guys worried about Mac Jones? Let's know about Mac Jones.
I'll give you a little holiday gift about that little situation, but no, I'm not worried about Mac Jones. I'm worried about that QB situation because if you look at our 16-team league, I had somebody in IR that wasn't allowed there anymore, so I couldn't change my lineup. So I couldn't change my defense and couldn't change my quarterback. And I had Zappy in there. And I'm like, well, I'm going to get a 0 in both. I ended up winning because they changed quarterbacks after Mac Jones went 3 for 6 for 15 yards or whatever. And I'm like, Zappy's in, and he threw a touchdown. So that saved me. But it just blew my mind that, like, what's going on over there in New England.
I think that supports the fact that Mac wasn't healthy, because you're not going to pull your quarterback for going 3 for 6. I mean, it happens. Yeah. But I mean, that's a horrible stat line to start off with, but you're not going to pull your starting quarterback because of that. People put up way worse numbers. If you go back and look at everybody's quarterback numbers for this week, it happens, and it's really not that bad for the beginning of the game. So again, I think Mac Jones comes back. I don't think this is a permanent thing. It honestly could have just come down to, Zappy's the hot hand right now. He's been getting it done. Let's just let him keep working until he doesn't. So there you go. Might be some new rules after the QB foot to defenders Jules hit. I assume we're talking about Tom Brady here. Everybody changes the rules for Brady. If you do see a rule change, it's going to be that you're allowed to do that now. If you get sacked, you are allowed 1 kick to a part of the body. He says no. Different situation. I still think it might get changed because of the Brady hit. Yeah, let us know which situation you're talking about because I am unfamiliar if it's not the Brady from 2 weeks ago. Do you know what he's referring to?
Foot to defenders. Well, there was a lot of foot to defenders. I think Mac slid and put his foot up into the crotch of
Oh,
the.
okay.
I
Well,
think
that's
that's
normal. That
yeah.
happens all the time.
That
You
was
do
a
see
little
that.
high. I mean, you slide
Well,
and everything, but I guess maybe he was protecting himself. That's maybe that'll hold up in court.
yeah, something like
But
that. Yeah.
I think that's what he was going for.
Yeah, that's
I
what he's talking
personally,
about.
yeah, um, I say if you can get away with it until it changes, keep doing it. I mean,
Brady needs to get his cabinet straight. Yeah. Brady, boy,
uh,
people are going to say that he shouldn't come back.
did you hear
Uh,
some of the things they were saying about Brady?
I
How
mean,
you gave up your family and your marriage to go
wow,
for this losing team. I was like, Jesus, you guys are harsh.
like
Like
that's
talk a
the
little bit
media
of
for
trash, but don't go that far. Like,
attack a guy's family. It's
yeah,
not. It's
like
look. I agree that he should not have come back, and I agree he should have put his family first. Patriot
we don't even know
Sports
if
says
that's 100% the truth. Come on, I
go
mean,
play pickleball. Well, I mean you don't, but I'm not saying it's very clear. Look, if you go and read the stuff, Patriot Sports Radio did um uh uh we did talk about this on Patriot Sports Radio. They did something. They were nice enough to have me on for that episode about Giselle's involvement in this whole decision. So I did a lot of research and stuff. This Giselle Brady arguing thing happens every year, according to, and they normally make up and stuff, and it looks like this one they're not going to. He is kind of looking like a Skeletor right now, because, and I think it's the depression. I mean, he's probably not getting to see his kids that much and all that stuff. I've definitely gone through that. It's not a fun time. And the thing is if this was gonna be an issue, you can't really fault the man for not playing very well. When your house is not in order, it's very hard to concentrate and perform on the football field. I don't care if you're Tom Brady or not. That situation is going to affect you.
yeah, when you're talking about the GOAT here, um, and we're talking fantasy wise, you know, football and family, those come intertwined. When there's a problem at home or something at the house, a family member is lost or something, that tends to show up on the field. You lose a family member, it hurts a little bit, and sometimes you go out there and you play the best game of your life. When it's something a little bit more different, where there's trouble brewing, and it tends to prolong, and you have to check that sometimes. You have court dates coming up and stuff like that. You tend to have that in the back of your mind when you're playing. You're not clear thinking about what you need to do in each play, and that could change a fantasy outcome. And you do have to follow some of that news depending on how big it is for fantasy players, because you're seeing what's happening with Tom Brady not being able to carry his team.
Yeah, during the draft, I didn't really think much of it. I thought it was just all kind of hyped up. I thought, it's just the media kind of running with this one. It's probably not even that big of a deal. And so, yeah, I drafted Brady in quite a few leagues. And it's not paying off. I've since replaced him with Garoppolo about everywhere. I mean, like you said, Garoppolo's a safe choice. I know him to get the points, and now I got CMC working for me too. But yeah, just to kind of wrap up the Brady talk, like you said, you can apply it to anybody's life. When things aren't right at home, work performance is going to go down. So no real surprise there. Who's your guys's, disappointments besides Kyle Pitts? Who's your guys' surprises this year? When I say surprise, when I say somebody doing better, like vastly outshooting what your personal projections, who's the player that first comes to mind?
Taylor,
That must be a problem one. That's got to be a problem one. JT,
yeah.
definitely underperforming. 100% said he would, by the way, said it back in July, said threw up the stats, the numbers, all the analytics that showed what happens throughout history with the consensus number one. Look, guys, I mean, I just, I tried to warn you. Anyway.
I would have to say
I'm looking.
Ramondre is finally showing up like he's supposed to. Thank you for that.
Yeah, this is a
which
fantastic one. Tyler Boyd has won us 2 weeks in a row. Like Tyler Boyd, having a pretty decent season. Not every week. I suppose you still classify him as boom or bust, but yeah,
yeah,
definitely
but
showing up for the
it's a
last couple of.
boom. It's a big boom too,
It's a
or
big boom
bust.
right now.
Yeah.
Ride it till it goes till it fades out because that is working down there.
Now, if you lost Brees Hall and you know Robinson's coming over, how do you feel
Mhm.
about that?
I mean, you got to think split backfield a little bit, right? I mean, Carter was the man. He was doing great and he was doing just fine until Brees came in. And yeah, I think Robinson's going to thrive. I think he's a fantastic running back. It was outstanding trade. But Patriot Sports, I believe, talking about Boyd there, quietly scored 38. I
Hmm.
don't know how quiet that was, but I guess it depends if you have red zone or not.
Yeah, it was
But
very
back
loud.
Yeah, but back to the Jets running back situation. I guess especially this week when you have to get somebody in there, you as you said earlier, flip a coin, put one of them in there, and see who does better. This week's going to be a little bit different
Well,
because Robinson's just getting there, but I mean they're
yeah,
both going to play.
Robinson's no CMC when it comes to playmaking and football smarts and whatnot. So I would say Michael Carter has the backfield for at least this week. But going forward, if they went that quickly for the trade, I think they saw something they like, and I think Robinson would end up taking over. Sorry, Carter, that's just too fast movement for me not to give you a chance.
Patriot Sports Radio makes a great point because I tell you when it happened, like everyone else, I immediately jumped on, saw the headline, immediately jumped on to try and get. Um, well, when Brees went down, I immediately hopped on to try and get Carter. There was only one league I could get him in. And then when they traded for Robinson, I went in and I couldn't find him anywhere. None of Robinson was not there anywhere. So when you talk about these handcuffs and stuff like that, yeah, they are playing a big role. Connor coming back should have impact. I don't know. He wasn't doing much before, so we'll see. Patriot Sports says you aren't
True.
casually winning a league anymore, and that's 100% true. Like you got to be on top of your leagues now. You got to be active, and if you're not, you're probably not going to come out very well on the winning side because the injuries are more prevalent now. We're finding out about them faster, and honestly, they seem to be lasting a little bit longer, which is good. I think that's good that when a player gets injured, he's out longer. Um, Mike Williams' ankle did not look good. They're saying high ankle sprain. It definitely looked worse than that if you saw it, but definitely a couple weeks that you're going to be missing him. Thankfully, they have the bye. After the bye, Keenan Allen should come back. And I had Williams and Allen both in one league, and Eckler for that matter. I have all three of them in one league. So I'll be okay in that league. But if you were relying on Williams before, you have to go find yourself a wide receiver somewhere.
Yeah, there's a few wide receivers out there. Not sure if you could trust a lot of them. Even with
And that's what I was going to say. Like, how many of them can you trust? I mean, I think we're talking about boom and bust guys, right?
pretty much, I mean, who could? I mean, Pierce is
I'll
like
give you I'll
something
give you some of I'll give you some of the names. According to fantasypros.com, because that's what I love to use. They show you availability. Love Fantasy Pros. Wandale Robinson, New York Giants, only 21% owned.
I mean, if he's the number one guy,
Three
you want the
games,
number one guy. That's what you
yeah.
want. But
3 games, 10 receptions, 92 yards, and a touchdown.
that's
That's your top guy.
yeah.
Rondale Moore coming in as the second guy. Garrett Wilson coming
The
as the third
quarterback
guy.
ran more touch or more yards.
Garrett Wilson's interesting. Now that you lose Brees Hall, do you throw more? Do you have less confidence in your backfield? Is Garrett Wilson a recipient of that? That's
I hope
an
so because he's
interesting one.
in my lineup and he hasn't really done well for me lately. I'm really hoping he steps his game back up and they start passing more. Because Brees Hall was when Brees Hall runs 70 yards, you lose all those yardage that you could have in a couple of catches. So,
Man, I lost Brees Hall in 2 leagues and I'm
oh,
devastated. Let me tell you.
that's a rough week for you. Yeah.
Yeah, no, 100%. That was bad. Um, Paris Campbell. I like to see his name up there. I don't know if it's going to be be that relevant. Matt Ryan gets benched. I'm going to tell you right now, I've read it more than once. I am not ashamed to say I have absolutely no idea who the quarterback of the Indianapolis Colts is right now. None. Never heard of her.
You don't know who that is?
And never heard of her. You don't know who that is. You're trying to look it up right now.
I can't remember his name to save my life.
Yeah, exactly.
He played. Do you know who he played for?
I don't remember. I probably
Texas.
heard the name. People are going to call me out, but I don't.
Sam Ellinger. That's what it was.
Oh Lord.
Sam Ellinger played for Texas. I knew who he played for. I just couldn't remember the name.
What? Who is he?
Sam Ellinger.
Never heard of her. Never heard of her.
Pretty decent QB for Texas. Didn't win the big games, but he's the guy who said, "We're back." Whatever. When they beat somebody in a bowl game, but they weren't back. They just played a team who all their starters were not showing up.
Thank you, PSR, Patriot Sports Radio. So you got to be on YouTube, picking the pocket of all the information. We like to think that we have good information. We definitely try to put out good information for you guys. We appreciate the recognition there.
Do you know Kyron Williams?
Who?
Kyron Williams, Los Angeles Rams.
Is that your neighbor?
Yeah.
Does
he's on IR right now. There's some talk since you lost Breece Hall. We'll talk about people who lost Breece Hall. Kyron Williams with the situation there with Cam Akers probably going away, not starting, whatever. We have Henderson not really being the best running back and injury prone. When Kyron Williams comes back,
he is on IR though.
Yeah, so you can slide him into your IR spot, pick him up, and push him off to the side and say, hey. You want to be on a decent offense like that as a running back.
We've talked about this before. We talked about it when the injury happened, but we're going to go back.
That was week 1.
No, not that injury. Oh. You'll know what I'm talking about when I say the name. We got to talk about Latavius Murray. Gordon's not doing a lot. He's not really getting it done. Murray's getting a little more play. What do you think about Latavius Murray? Don't get me wrong. He's finishing. Look, after the injury, he finished RB20, then 27, RB30, 10 fantasy points this week. Is that PPR? Yeah, 10 fantasy points on the PPR. Had 2 receptions for -1 yard, so probably not coming in on the passing down.
That's still 1.8 points, so I'll take it.
Whatever. But is he going to start getting some more play with Gordon's lack of production?
I'm really surprised that Gordon is just looking like a, way back, the third RB in the pecking order. Yeah. I think Latavius Murray is going to take over that backfield. They traded for him. I picked him up right away in one of my leagues. And the only other league that I'm really watching him in is the 8-team league, and I really don't see that ever happening. But I'm too deep at running back. But it's worth a stash. These are the people. These are the late rounders. Everybody's getting injured. The injuries are not over with.
No,
the injuries are not over. So
we're in week 8, guys. We're not even halfway through the season. Anymore. It's not even halfway through the season anymore. Yeah, no, there's more coming. Be ready. Who are your waiver wire pickups? Who are you guys looking at this week? Let us know if we haven't talked about them already. Before we get into the college chaos, because I want to get into the college chaos, I just want to, again, like we did last week, kind of glaze over these games. We got a decent Thursday night game finally. You got Baltimore at Tampa, which, was a decent game until the Buccaneers haven't been showing up, but maybe they show up for Thursday night. I don't know. It's Baltimore at Tampa, Brady at night. I never bet against the GOAT. I'm taking the GOAT. Tampa's defense is just not getting it done with Lamar coming in.
Go with Lamar.
Yeah, I'm not mad at you for doing it at all. I probably, if I was a betting man, I'd probably bet on Baltimore too. Broncos at Jags in a game that no one cares about already.
Jags.
Yeah, I mean, Broncos are a dumpster fire right now. They can't, as Nat said on the trenches, they can't even get the kicking game right. We'll talk
She
about
said,
that
"Drop
second.
everybody. Don't worry about
Drop
anybody on that."
everybody on the Broncos. Like if
That's
they've
what
got a
she said.
Broncos uniform on, get rid of them. You can't even sell high. You can't sell low. Just dump them. It's not worth the effort. Panthers at Falcons, divisional matchup. Always good, I think. PJ Walker probably still going to be there. Double backfield for both of them. Honestly, that's a hard one to call. I'm not sure if you care about calling it, but it actually should be a fun game to watch.
I think Atlanta should win that game, but with Carolina's defense firing on all cylinders and PJ Walker is the starter.
Yeah, you can't go against Carolina anymore. You can't because you picked them.
PJ's gonna
You're tied
light
to
him
them
up,
forever.
I think. And unless Mariota makes some fireworks, I think the Panthers, for some strange reason, win another one.
Wow.
But I'll just lean with Carolina because this is my last week.
People like PJ.
Yeah,
What's not to like?
I saw him throw a pass and it just looked like, and it was like just smooth the whole way.
I mean,
I was like, okay, that's how you throw a ball. I mean, I'll be in the backyard throwing this little waddly ball, and I'm like, yeah, okay.
Throwing it like Herbert.
Yeah. Thanks. Hurts.
Bears at Cowboys. I think the Bears come back to earth, and when the Cowboys get another win. Dolphins at Lions. Wow. I like. I'm not gonna lie. I watched. It was on Red Zone, but they showed a lot of that Miami Pittsburgh game, and I got to be honest. I kind of like the way Tua ran that backfield. I kind of like the kid being out there. I like the Dolphins. I mean, besides the Lions, I'm kind of, I'm turning into a believer with the Dolphins.
They're playing in a dome.
I'm not putting them in the Super Bowl, but
playing in a dome, an enclosed environment. Okay.
Yeah.
No weather. I say the Dolphins will take that one.
Yeah, Sharktooth.
Unless Goff decides to show up craziness.
Sharktooth says Dolphins. He actually took the Bears over the Cowboys. So hashtag write that down. We'll see you next week for that. Sharktooth, you can defend that pick. Cardinals at Vikings. Vikings coming off a rest. Cardinals have been resting all season, but they got D-Hop back. He was an impact already, fantastic player. I don't think it's enough. I think the Vikings win at home.
I think the Cardinals had a big defensive showing. They had 2 pick sixes against the Saints this past weekend. That's why they look so good on paper and excitement. D-Hop is back. He definitely hogged all the targets.
He did.
I just think coming off of the bye week, maybe Minnesota's ready and rested and ready to go.
They've had 2 weeks of study film. I think, I agree. Yeah. Vikings. And like you said, Arizona's playing the Saints, who are hosting the Raiders this week. Raiders at Saints. Ooh, I like this one for fantasy numbers. I think, although Lattimore is probably going to be on Adams, so that could go either way. Man, Raiders at Saints. You go first on this one.
Do we even know who's the quarterback at the Saints yet? Is it?
I don't think it's been decided. I think that Winston's supposed to be coming back, but don't quote me on that. I don't.
He looks healthy. He looks like he's playing again. So another flip of the coin. So I don't like it, which also can be confusing for the Raiders because they don't know who to study up against. Not like you have to.
I mean, I still think Winston can ball. I think he'll do fine when he gets in. It's just a matter, like you said, is he coming back or not? All right, you got to pick it. Even Sharktooth won't pick it.
Yeah, I don't want to pick it either because I have Devontae Adams. I'm going to go that route.
I'll go Vegas because I need Jacobs to get points. I hear you on that. I'll take the Saints at home. I don't know. I actually was going to pick Vegas, but I'm just trying to be different, really, on that one. Patriots at Jets. If Zappy plays, I like it. The Jets are going to be hurt without Breece Hall. Kind of trying to figure it out without him there. I say the Patriots recover. Bill Belichick's not known for losing 2 weeks in a row. Nobody's traveling anywhere. I'm going to take the Patriots in this one.
Patriots at who?
Jets. Jets.
You're gonna take a bus over there.
The 5-2 Jets.
I'm going with the Jets.
5-2.
Patriots scored what? 14 points
even
last
without
week?
Brace Hall. Wow. Yeah, but you just talked about how the quarterback is. We got Steelers at Eagles. I think the Eagles streak continues, unfortunately. I don't think this, that's one of those ones. That's one of those games that we talk about, that we've talked about every week, that is supposed to go a certain way. Unarguable, easy pick, not even worth betting on, because you're not going to get a good line on it unless you bet the Steelers, and then you go home with a nice paycheck. Watch the Steelers take down the Eagles. I'm not calling it. I'm just saying watch it happen. Titans at Texans. I can't believe I'm going to take the Titans, but I'm going to take the Titans.
Is Malik Willis the QB there yet? I mean,
I think so. I saw him throwing passes. He definitely came in.
4 of them, and they did a bad handoff, and it was ugly, but I don't know. I think Malik Willis will probably take over soon. He just needs a whole game to kind of get the jitters out. You can't do 4 plays in NFL in your first year and think that everything's gonna be fine. So you're taking Tennessee?
I'm taking Tennessee. Yeah, me and Sharktooth are on Tennessee for this one.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll go the other route.
Really? You gonna take Texans? 1-4? 1-4
I mean, they can't.
Hey, whatever.
No. Yeah, I got to go 10. I wanted to do it, but Titans going to win that one. I mean, can't go against Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry.
I try to be different. I just
factor right there.
Yeah, I'm not going to put
money. We can deflect to the quarterback all we want, but it's going to be on Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Here's an interesting one. Maybe the afternoon game of the week. Well, it's not, because the one afterwards. But the Commanders at the Colts. So you got Taylor Heineke coming in for his second start. You got the Colts, some lady I never heard of, starting for them. And that's always interesting because you don't have tape. You got no tape. You don't know what he can do. You don't know is he a runner? Does he like to check down? Does he go to the inside? Does he go to the outside? Does he always look left? Does he look right? You don't know.
Just take away that run game and then make him beat you.
Yeah, and maybe he can. That's the thing right there. Colts are not playing great. Heineke good enough to get it done. Man, Washington at Colts. I'm gonna, I like Heineke though.
You do.
I do.
You're struggling. Why are you struggling? You don't even know her name.
I know, because nobody else does either, and that's
a good thing.
Huge. Yeah, that is a great thing for the Colts that nobody knows her name. Look,
pick him up.
Paris Campbell is someone to pick up this week. If you need a waiver,
he's only had 22 targets the last 2 games.
But you've got the new guy coming in. You know who the new guy is thrown to more than anybody else on that starting roster? It's Paris Campbell. That's who he's been throwing to. Watch Paris Campbell have a nice game this week.
Who was the 31-year-old who caught a whole bunch of passes and touchdowns this past week? I can't remember, but was it on the Seattle or something? Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I don't know the name, but I know exactly what you're talking about. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, whatever.
Didn't get a chance to write that down, but don't go for people like that who did nothing the first 6 weeks, get 20-something points, and then
hashtag write it down. Paris Campbell.
Don't do that. Yeah, Paris Campbell. Yeah, Paris Campbell will be one of them. Volume is key. We always say that.
Volume is key. That's who he's worked out with. That's who's going to get the balls. So Commanders at Colts. I give the kid his first win. I'll take the Colts at home.
Colts.
I'll take the Colts.
Just because
Sharktooth on the Commanders.
Yeah.
Here's the game that'll get billed as the game of the week. It's the Niners at the Rams. I think the Niners come back. I think CMC, learns a little bit more of the playbook. Garoppolo gets a little more used to him. I'm taking the Niners in this one. The Rams offense is not firing on all cylinders anyway. They've had a week to get healthy and stuff, so maybe Stafford comes firing out, but I'm just going with the historical makeup of the season. I'm taking the Niners.
CMC does not learn some of the playbook. CMC now knows all of the playbook. All of it is at his disposal. You could kiss Jeff something goodbye.
Jeff Wilson Jr.
Wilson something. He's a nobody now.
Yeah,
I'm
Jeff
sorry
Wilson
to
Jr. is bagging groceries with
and I'm
where
sorry.
Kurt
He's on
Warner
my
used to work.
teams, several teams because of
Yeah,
it. That was that trade hurt
not
my
anymore.
teams.
No, big time.
Yeah, because I was
Because Wilson was doing well.
Yeah,
He was.
but 49ers sold out and said,
to...
"Hey, we want that talent." And I mean, you got to add some plays to the playbook. Realistically,
the bye week is part of it, so I definitely get why Sharktooth wants to go with the Rams. But I'm
going
taking
Rams
the 49ers.
also.
Are
I'm
you
not gonna,
okay?
I'm not going to. I mean, Cooper Kupp and the Rams after
That's all they
a
got,
week of
though.
rest.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, that's right. Everybody knows since last season, Cooper Kupp is going to get 11 targets a game, and he still gets 10 of those catches. So it didn't make sense to me. Like he's wide open.
Giants at the Seahawks. Love that 12th man. Ooh. I'm taking the Seahawks in this one. I shouldn't because Barkley should be the difference. Nice turf stadium, but no, I'm going Seahawks.
If it's a clear day, Seahawks. Oh no. No, Walker and Seahawks and Geno and everything. Check on Metcalf. We want to make sure that that's okay because they're not gonna win in a shootout.
Yeah, I hear you.
Got to check on Metcalf. Hopefully he's healthy, but I'm gonna go Seahawks as well.
There you
Giants
go.
are overrated.
Green Bay at Bills. I'm taking the Bills. Green Bay hasn't shown me anything. It's at home. Bills are showing me nothing right now. Or I mean, Green Bay is showing me nothing right now.
It could be in Green Bay for the championship, and I would be taking Bills.
And the Monday night matchup, a barn burner, one that everybody's been waiting for all season long. It's the Bengals at the Browns. What the fuck? Bengals by 20.
That's it? That's all you're going to give them?
Yeah, exactly.
Give them some more.
Yeah. That offense is fired up right now. And Cleveland ain't got it.
Yeah, Joe Mixon gets like 2 touchdowns this game.
Yeah, there's a prop for you. Yeah. There you go. See, we're getting into the prop game now. Joe Mixon, good for 2. There you go. Catch the Trenches when it comes out this Friday. Really fantastic episode. Kickers made the difference. You won't see the math errors that were made, but they were made, and it did change the outcome of the game. So catch the Trenches. You never know what is going to happen in the trenches. It was fantastic. Really great matchup. Some super, super close games that came down to the wire. All good. Good things. And the game breaker this week is thoroughly confusing. And the fun thing about the game breaker this week, I think, is that literally nobody knows. So the game breaker this week, everybody had to decide what position they were either doubling points for or erasing points for. And they all had to text it. And whatever position, whatever decision got the most votes, if that's what's going to happen. So nobody knows what's going to happen except me because I got all the texts. Now I have to prove it next week, but nobody knows, including the players. They're not going to find out till the show. On the show next week, they will find out if they won or lost. They will find out if they got their points, if they lost the points, who it was from. It's ridiculous.
So any close matchups, everybody's going to be sweating. This is going to be a really good next week.
I mean, depending on player performance, it might not matter if it's close. If you got a wide receiver that goes big and you lose those points, that could be the game. If you got a tight end that goes big and you lose those points, if you got a defense that goes big, you could lose those points. So you just don't know.
That's true.
I won't know. That's going to be really crappy for my end of it, but it's okay. We'll make it happen. Trenches.
Get most of it done on Monday.
Yeah. The Armchair Athletics. Check out the Trenches. It's the craziest show you ever saw. College Chaos. Here we go. The part I've actually been waiting for all week. And I'll tell you why I've been waiting for it, because I could not remember a single pick. I remember like the games and I would see the teams and be like, I'm pretty sure we talked about that one, but I have no idea what we did. So hashtag write that down. Thank God you wrote these down, and we're going to find out. College Chaos presented by Root. There it is at Mr. Football Today on Twitter.
Well, I chose 20 Texas to beat Oklahoma State. You were not on board with that. Oklahoma State did end up winning. So there you go. You got a W.
I got a W. Boom.
There you go. Number 17, Kansas State upset number 8, TCU. TCU won. You picked TCU. So you got another W.
Look at me go.
Yeah. Minnesota at Penn State. number 16, and Minnesota lost. So therefore, and you did pick Minnesota, and sorry
I'm
about
on
that.
fire.
Yeah, so you
Wow.
failed. So you were, got a loss there in one column. And
No,
then
that's not on fire.
no, you got burned on that one right there. I can't believe you picked
Well,
Minnesota.
that's
Um,
bullcrap.
LSU actually ended up beating Ole Miss. That was my one that I got, and yeah, you picked Ole Miss, and
So
it
I
was
got
by
that one.
no, you
I
missed
didn't
that
get that.
one. Yeah,
So what I go? I
LSU
split.
beat. Oh, yeah, you split.
Nice. I'll take it.
But yeah, you picked the higher ones. It kind of doesn't help. But Ole Miss lost 45-20. That
No,
was
they
a
got
little.
slacked.
They got it was. That was
No, it was bad.
yeah. I
It
was a
was
little worried
really
about
bad.
that.
Nobody saw. Nobody saw that coming, except you. And yeah, that was bad. That was
So
real
I got a
bad.
question for you. Is it harder to do like a ranked matchup away or something, or like a high ranking at home? Something like what do you think's harder, home or away?
I usually give, especially in college, I usually give the home team the advantage. If it's like two ranked teams, like we do here
Right.
on College Chaos, we usually do the ranked teams. But if it's two ranked teams, I will usually give the home field the advantage. If it's two non-ranked teams, I will usually give home field the advantage. Usually, it's not. Oh, it's always exceptions to every rule, but generally that's how I take them.
Okay. Well, I looked at a lot of the things and all the matchups, and I didn't really like a lot of them at all.
Mhm.
I saw a few that would be like number 25. Was it? I just didn't Gamecocks. I didn't even want to pick it. Like I'm not going to.
The
I'm not.
Gamecocks are ranked. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. So I was like, it's
Oh
so
God.
boring. I wasn't even going to pick it. Like I hope they lose. I don't know if they will. I don't care.
I'm
They're
in
not.
South Carolina, so I have to deal with this.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
anyway, I'm gonna go UCF upsets number 20 Cincinnati.
Um,
No
I was
clicking on the
looking
things
for
to
it.
see who the.
No, I'm just kind of looking for the games to see. I'm looking at the schedule. Okay, there we go. UCF at Cincinnati, but and because you're saying I give the home team usually the advantage. Well, you're not going to like it, but I'm actually going to agree with you on that one. I say they pull it out.
You say who's gonna pull it out?
UCF.
You
I'll
gonna
take
you agree
UCF.
with me? Okay.
I'll take UCF. It's
It's
not good
out.
for you. That's not good for you,
Yeah. It's Alan, by the way, or I go by other names. Um,
Alan. Yeah.
I well, technically I won 1 out of 3, but I'm picking the
Oh, I'm
hard
sorry.
ones. Um, so and that's why I went a little lower. I did ask you the question, the higher ranked teams and home and
Mhm.
away and whatnot. So this week, I'm gonna go with number 13 Penn State at home,
You're a
upsetting
dick. You know what? You're a
Ohio
dick, first of
State.
all. Secondly, that is
I,
going to be an extremely tough game. They're going to do
that's
the
gonna be a
whiteout.
great game to watch. Yes, I'm really looking
Unfortunately,
forward to
it's
that
at
one.
12 p.m. I really like it better when it's at night because that whiteout is just super
Yeah,
awesome to see, even on TV. It's just super amazing. I imagine that they're going to do the whiteout again, but no, Ohio State will definitely win this game.
I
Uh,
want that game to be moved to a late night game. I don't
it
know
really
why.
should be. I don't know why it's there either.
Like
That's
that doesn't make sense to me at all.
no, none.
Okay, here's the thing about Ohio State, and I want to talk to you about it over and over and over again.
Here we go.
Everybody's saying they haven't been challenged yet, and I said that last week to
Are you kidding
USC
me?
at Utah.
First of
Okay, and
all, our
Utah
first
came
game
in
was
and
against
challenged.
Notre Dame.
Who is
Secondly,
not ranked?
well, they're not now.
Oh yeah, so either is Texas A&M with 4 losses.
Okay, look, besides Notre Dame,
Texas
who
A&M was
is
5.
besides Notre Dame, nobody else that we played was ranked. And that's not our fault because the last
No,
4
it's not.
games against Big Ten teams. And so we got a 5th game against a Big Ten team. And the Big Ten team, while the second most powerful conference in college football is not the SEC, where you have all these ranked teams. Usually you have 3 or 4 ranked teams. Last year was much better. This year, right now, I want to say we have 3. We got Ohio State, we got the team up north, and we got Penn State. So you got a clash of ranked teams. So, okay, I'll give you they haven't been tested argument, but you know what? Nobody has given them trouble either. And
Oh no, absolutely not.
like at all. What do we
Yeah, it's
got
not
here? We
even
got
close.
21-10, 45-12, 77-21, 52-21, 49-10, 49-20, 54-10. So further evidence that we have not really been tested. But Penn State is not the team to do it. Iowa, I believe, had the number one defense in the Big Ten. So that means Penn State doesn't have the number one defense in Big Ten. And look, I love Jackson. I love Penn State. I love everything they're doing over there. I'm glad that they're ranked 13. I'm sorry that they got to play us, but Ohio State is going to win this game.
I think they are too. I just had to pick it. One, because I want to pick your brains about if they are really challenged. I think it's not going to be 54-14.
No, but it's a skill level thing, and it's nobody's fault. It's the nature of college sports. The people that don't want to play for Ohio State and the team up north, they go to Penn State. So, you are getting I personally am in line with Iran. You are getting the third best team in the Big Ten. But I just think that the talent level across the team is enough there that look, there'll be plays like you said. Ohio State's not going to score on every drive. They're going to have to earn this one for sure. And don't be surprised to see Penn State go up at some point. But come the third quarter, middle of the third quarter, I think this game will be over.
Yeah, even though I picked them, I actually kind of agree with you. If it was a 7 p.m. game, I'd have more confidence in my pick. But I'm have a little fun. I can't do it to my team because we're not ranked. So
I hear
you. So hey, we didn't lose last week.
Look, no, you didn't lose. And I mean, to be realistic, you guys get a new coach. I don't know how high the expectations were outside of being a fan. If you take the fan part out of it, I'm not sure, probably higher than this, but still, I'm surprised that they're getting beat as handily as they've been getting beat. I'm surprised at how many games they've lost, but I'm not surprised that they're not like the best team in the conference right now.
Yeah, it's
all right.
Some stuff to do. But
did you pick 3? Is that your 3?
That was 2.
That was 2. That's the third one. Okay. You only did 2.
I only did 2 because I don't even like them. Like I said, there wasn't a lot. There was only one, and I thought Well,
I'm going to take Virginia Tech over NC State, and that's a cheap cop out. Same thing as you did because NC State's only 24. But I'm going to take Virginia Tech at NC State, and NC State's at home, so I'm going against my thing here, my system. But I'm going to do it.
I thought about doing that one. It wasn't as sexy as you normally are.
Right.
I still think NC State's going to take that one.
It's highly possible, but I'm trying to play here. I'm trying to get in here. Man, I really want to take that, but it's not going to happen. I think Kansas State, Oklahoma State, but it's not going to happen.
No, I almost did that one, but the QB or running back situation, running back's a little hurt. Deuce, number 22, little guy. That guy's a beast, and he was limping off the field. And if he's not 100%, you can just kiss that one goodbye. So I'm going to stay Oklahoma State on that one.
Yeah, definitely. Kentucky at Tennessee. Oh my God, no, Tennessee's on fire.
No, I'm not going to do that one.
Texas A&M, Ole Miss. They did lose and come up.
I thought about that one too. I just saw who Texas.
I want to pick Stanford over UCLA, but I'm not going to. Let's see. You did too. What did I pick? I picked Virginia Tech, and I will take. I'm not taking Washington State over Utah. I'll take Notre Dame over Syracuse. How about that? I'll take Notre Dame over Syracuse. Notre Dame
at the Dome.
Syracuse. I know I'm picking both away teams. I'll take Notre Dame over Syracuse. Syracuse misses a field goal or something at the end and allows Notre Dame to win. Something like that. Something super close. It's a mistake.
I think last year Syracuse beat Notre Dame.
No, I think they did too. No, I think it was last year too.
Yeah.
So Notre Dame looking for some payback, but that was it. And that was at Notre Dame. So again, going against the home field advantage. We appreciate everybody for joining us. That's our time for tonight. Send us your questions, send us your comments. Look at us up on Facebook. Find us at the Armchair Athletics ! on YouTube. That's where you will find the Trenches. Trenches, fantastic show, and a lot of fun to watch, a lot of fun to be a part of. Come be a part of it too, because it really is unlike anything you've ever seen before. And that's not just me advertising it. That's me being blown away by how good it turned out. Come back and check us next week at 8:30 Eastern when we'll talk yak more football, yak some college, and yak about whatever you guys want to yak about. Zach, take us out.
Yeah, I'm gonna go finish getting over this COVID thing. Who knows? Maybe my last video ever. I don't know. Nah, I'll be fine, guys. You guys take care. Have a safe, fun weekend. Hopefully, it gets a little bit better. It's been rough the last couple of weeks, but we're getting some W's. We're gonna be on top this week. You guys take care and be safe.
Be safe, everybody. Happy fantasy football, and we'll see you guys next week.